Relatively recently, I watched the first two Austin Power films for the first time, and while I didn't think they'd be for me, I really thoroughly enjoyed them. Loved the first one, jumped into the second one, really enjoyed it, but I decided to take a break before watching the third one, and I'm currently watching every Danny DeVito film. So I figured, well, now it's time to watch the third film. And while I would say it's probably my least favourite of the three, that's not saying very much because it's still a really good film. This was released in 2002. The full title is Austin Powers in Goldmember. And it's directed by Jay Roach, written by Mike Myers and Michael McCullers. And we have a cast including, of course, Mike Myers. We have Beyoncé, Michael Caine. We have so many cameos, including, of course, Danny DeVito. We have Britney Spears. I won't go into too much detail in case you don't want to know all of the cameos. I think for me, a lot of the element of surprise was just seeing all of these people popping up. But there is I don't know if it's a complete list, but certainly a comprehensive list on Wikipedia if you do want to know more about the full cast. With regards to the narrative, I think for me that was the part that I cared for the least. There's nothing wrong with it. Absolutely nothing wrong with it. But I just wasn't that invested in it. Austin Powers is trying to stop Dr. Evil and also Goldmember. And it never occurred to me before watching this why this character was called Goldmember. And now I know why. And yeah, that in itself is quite interesting. And Goldmember is certainly an interesting enough character. In fact, all of the characters are just so well written. They're so fascinating. And needless to say, Mike Myers, who plays multiple characters, does an absolutely fantastic job. Everybody gave a great performance, but he really carries the films. I feel like if they'd got the casting wrong, it just could have fallen apart completely. Mike Myers just does an absolutely amazing job. The narrative flows well enough. The pacing is fine. There is absolutely nothing wrong with the story. I just wasn't that emotionally invested in it. But the characters are very, very strong. The performances are brilliant. It is funny. It really is funny. And it takes a lot to make me laugh with comedy films. For some reason, I don't know why. Sitcoms, I can laugh all day. Comedy films, it just takes a lot for me to laugh at them. I don't think I laughed out loud at this one, but I certainly had a lot of fun with it. It's very, very creative. It is very well written. There's some great dialogue between characters. It's visually stunning. The costumes are incredible. The soundtrack is brilliant. Everything about this worked really, really well. And I don't even care that I wasn't that invested in the narrative because everything else is so fabulous. And there's nothing wrong with the narrative either. It's not as if it's a bad story. It's not as if I wasn't buying into the narrative. Just for me, the narrative kind of took a back seat. Everything else was in the forefront. And I had a lot of fun with it. I think it worked well. As I said, I do think it's my least favourite of the three. I don't know why. I can't really put my finger on why. I think this one's maybe not quite as good as the others. It could just be that it's no longer as unique. Obviously, the first film is really fresh, it's exciting, it's different. The second film, obviously, that quality is carried across. By the third film, it's not as surprising anymore. The quality is still there, but the element of surprise has been removed because obviously we're three films into it. Maybe that's why. So it's maybe not necessarily that the quality's less. It's just that the experience isn't as fresh and as exciting. But as I said, I did take a bit of a gap. I think maybe 3 or 4 months since I last watched the other two. And I think that was a good decision. I think that definitely allowed me to watch it with a little bit more of a fresh perspective than if I just jumped into this straight after the second one. So I think that was the right decision. But that's not to say that if you choose to watch them all back to back, it won't be enjoyable. Also, from Wikipedia, I haven't fact checked this, so take this with a pinch of salt. But apparently it had a budget of 63 million and a box office of 296.9 million, which is pretty impressive. So, in general, I thought Austin Powers in Goldmember was a very strong film. The story works well, but for me, the main attractions were just the comedy in general. It worked so well. The performances are brilliant. The characters are well written. The music is great. The costumes are fabulous. It's good fun. And I'm really glad I gave the first film a chance because I just didn't think it would be for me. And I'm pleased to say it turns out it absolutely is. Austin Powers and Goldmember is a solid film. If you like the previous two films, needless to say, I think you're going to love this. If you didn't like the previous two films, personally, I'd say you probably wouldn't enjoy this, but maybe it's still worth checking out. I was going to say I don't think you'd hate it, but I feel like this isn't going to be for everybody. I didn't think it was going to be for me, at least with the first film. So give it a go if you're curious. I hope you enjoy it. I had a lot of fun with it. And of course, I'm very happy to recommend it.